wait, shit. All right, welcome in Couch Guys Sports Podcast episode 207, officially calling it the Al's Neighborhood episode. If you hear any screaming children in the background, Al's Neighborhood is popping tonight. It sounds like sun's out, the birds are chirping. Al, the Bruins are officially in the playoffs. We're gonna talk hockey tonight. Zdeno Chara and the Boston Bruins, but facing off against each other in the playoffs, first round. It's a heck of a storyline. We got Jaylen Brown Dunzo. He's out for the season. Might talk something baseball related because some news out of Major League Baseball today. Not Red Sox related. Look, they're still the best team in baseball. They're good, guys. They're good. Tune into the Triangle for more in-depth knowledge of that. New episode out. Go check it out. Of course, we're on CouchGuysSports.com, the Twitch channel, YouTube channel. Go subscribe to all the Couch Guys stuff. We're on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, all those podcast networks. Can't follow us on Twitter because that account's just long gone at this point. So follow the network at Couch Guys Sports. We're just going to post a lot of our stuff there until Quags decides he wants to create a new episode. Twitter, I'm not doing it. I refuse. It's his fault we're suspended in the first place. So we'll rather die with the network podcast, the network Twitter, the podcast.
Love it.
Hi, Al.
Hi, Jared.
What's up, buddy?
The screaming's back. It's a lot of fun.
It's that time of year. It means it's baseball season. It's warm out. It's May. Today's May 11th as we sit here and record this. I'm in shorts. I'm sitting during the podcast, which is great. When I'm healing, we're in recovery.
Good.
Beautiful thing.
We're glad to hear that. We care about the people here at this network.
You know, I'd like to say we do. So it's very important.
Yes.
Do you want to start? I'm going to give you the option here. We didn't even talk about this ahead of time. Do you want to start Jaylen Brown or do you want to start Boston Bruins?
Let's just start with Jaylen Brown, get the bad out of the way, and then we can end on something positive.
Jaylen Brown out. Dunzo. Torn ligament, I think it is, in his wrist, if I remember correctly. It's basically the exact same injury that Romeo Langford had. Return table recovery is 3 to 6 months. Ranking for Langford, I think, was closer to the 6-month mark. So we'll see how bad Jaylen Brown's is, but they're basically saying, let's do it now so that he can play next year. So he's ready for like the beginning of next year, which I'm fine with. This year's a wash. I think they know that too. My big question with this is, does this give the Celtics a pass when they get bounced out of the play-in tournament to say, oh, well, we didn't have Jaylen Brown, so we're going to run it back?
No.
Is this Danny's excuse? Is this the excuse?
Well, they're going to try to spin it that way, but how can you? Jaylen Brown played in the majority of the season, so he was just a part of the disappointing season as anybody else on that team. Now, let me ask you this in return. Who do you blame the season on the most?
Oh, God. I would put the blame on Danny Ainge.
Bing, 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 bing. Correct. The people that are blaming Brad Stevens, and Jared, I know you're a huge basketball guy, just like I am. The people that are blaming Brad Stevens for this, it's like, yes, he can connect with his players better. Yes, he can maybe change the rotations a little bit. But other than that, what can he really do? Danny Ainge put this team in the position they're in because he didn't go out and make a trade. He made one trade at the trade deadline. Let me rephrase that. One trade at the trade deadline, Evan Fournier. Great trade,
by the way. I do support that Fournier trade. He's been playing well. Hope they sign him long-term.
Yes, and I agree with that. But here's the thing now. Now you've set yourself for an offseason where if you run it back with the same group and Jaylen Brown's not ready to start the season, because remember, that injury can take up to 3 to 6 months. So if you do the math out right now, he would miss the first month of the season or so.
You're in 6 months from now is November 11th.
So he would miss probably the first 3 weeks, right around there.
Yeah, what about that? Depending on if it's actually November 11th, but yeah.
So that's my thing is if you're the Celtics, Jared, and you're Danny Ainge, you're going into this offseason.
Hold on, let me channel my inner Danny Ainge. I love my bench players. I love the 15th player on the bench. Ooh, the first round. Ooh, I can get the lottery. Okay.
Okay, fair enough. But if you're Danny Ainge, are you making a big splash this offseason to try to get the Celtics back in contention in the East? Because now you have Brooklyn that's going to be around for a few years. Philly's looking good with Doc Rivers in the fold now. He's turned them.
I hate rooting for Philly, but I'm rooting for Doc Rivers. I hate rooting for Philly.
You can root for Doc Rivers. That's totally acceptable.
But if it's Doc Rivers or Kyrie Irving, Coming out of the East, I'm rooting for Doc Rivers.
Oh, of course. And also, Milwaukee's still in there, and you've seen now the Knicks are becoming good. The Hawks are becoming good.
The Knicks are good.
I know that sentence just sounded disgusting coming out of my mouth. If Pete Chatterton listens to this, he's going to be throwing a party. But anyways, the Celtics are now like that bubble playoff team. They're exactly where they should be. They're in the play-in tournament. So if you're Danny Ainge, wouldn't you want to make a big move in the offseason?
See, I yes, 100%. I'm going to pose the question that I posed on Twitter. Me and Quags were having a conversation this morning early. I woke up to a text from him. I don't know why. He literally woke me up with this text.
That's shocking. That's shocking that Quags reached out to you first.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. I'll get to that in a second. I do want to talk about that question. And for those of you who follow me on Twitter, you saw the poll already. But I go back to, you blame Danny Ainge. I blame Danny Ainge. This goes back to when Kyrie was here. He didn't try to make Kyrie happy.
No.
Like, I don't know if you agree with this. This is something I mentioned to Quags offline, again, through this text conversation. It wasn't Kyrie's fault. If you still look back at what this team is now, what's happening, and what happened then, if you still think this was Kyrie Irving's fault when he was here, you were not paying attention. What happened in that locker room was not Kyrie Irving's fault. It was Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, probably more Marcus Smart than anybody. That's weird for me because I do like Marcus Smart. This clearly wasn't all Kyrie's fault. They wanted Kyrie to be here long term. When they traded for Kyrie, it was a great trade. That was their plan. It was Kyrie and find his friends, bring his friends to Boston. They didn't really go hard at Anthony Davis. They claim they did, but I don't believe it. There's no way they did.
No.
You let the Lakers get Anthony Davis. Then you still can't convince Kyrie to stay and then just bring Durant here. Because clearly, but Brooklyn did. Right. I know Kyrie's from there and Brooklyn, but like if you could have kept Kyrie happy, Durant would have come here. Durant almost came here by himself. Durant almost came here out of OKC. He was like this, we were second behind the Golden State Warriors. At that point, he's just ring chasing.
Right. And I was just going to mention too, who was the second team that Kevin Durant said he would go to after the Golden State Warriors? He said he would come to Boston.
He took a meeting with Tom Brady and Kelly Olynyk. He took a meeting.
Kelly Olynyk, that's still so fun. Isn't that still so funny to think?
They sent him in like he was in like flip flops and tie dye out in Nantucket. Talking to Kevin Durant. Come play with us, bro.
Yeah, but that's the funny thing too.
The good stuff
is that if Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving were here, oh my goodness, the championship possibilities would be endless.
And you know what people would be saying? What a great coach Brad Stevens is. Oh my God, he's coaching Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. It's not about the coach in the NBA. It's about the players. Yes. If you don't have the players, you can't be a good coach. Doc Rivers is the same way. We love Doc Rivers here in Boston. He won us a championship. He sucked before he had Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen with Paul Pierce. Like, it's all about the players in the NBA. And that's why this is Danny Ainge's fault. 100%. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown need help. And this is where the question gets posed. If you could trade Jaylen Brown for Bradley Beal, straight up, because I think that'd be a possibility. Jaylen Brown for you might have to add Marcus Smart maybe for money, but like let's just assume for right now, Jaylen Brown, Bradley Beal, flip flop. Would you do it in the offseason?
So there's a few factors that you have to think about. First of all, well, hold on. First of all, is Marcus Smart back next year? Because Marcus Smart's in the last year of his 4-year deal, I'm pretty sure.
Could be part of that trade.
Okay. So that changes things a little
bit. Money wise, right? They might need him for money because he has his contract.
So
Kemba Walker could be part of that trade.
So I'll say this. Straight up, yes, I would do it.
So let's pose the question. Let's rephrase the question. Straight up, who would you rather? Jaylen Brown with Jason Tatum or Bradley Beal with Jason Tatum?
Bradley Beal, and that's not a knock to Jaylen Brown at all, because Jaylen Brown is flourishing right in front of our eyes. But have you seen the way Bradley Beal's playing? He scored 50 points the other night before he came out with a strain in his calf or something. Like, he's a scoring machine. That's the guy you need.
Best friends. Like, they're boys.
Excuse me.
Like, if you think about Durant and Kyrie and like them being boys and them being best, that's what Tatum and Bradley Beal are.
So, I mean, and especially with the situation in Washington, and we've talked about it before on this podcast, Washington, like, they're going to be okay. They're going to play in the play-in game, but realistically, Russ is probably gone after this year. Davis Bertans, who knows how long he's going to be around. So, is Bradley Beal going to want to stay there?
He shouldn't.
No.
I look at that team, the Wizards, and think they could benefit from having Jaylen Brown. Maybe if you give it's Russell Westbrook, if you can convince Russ to stay, right, with his old former coach, because he loves him, right, currently in Washington. Mm-hmm. If you can convince Russ to stay, you give them Jaylen Brown, give them Marcus Smart, or maybe just Kemba, like, right, you give them other pieces outside of just Jaylen Brown. That's more enticing. You go, okay, we can take that. Probably doesn't want to be here. He's got a year left in his contract. So if you trade this offseason, he's going into a lame duck year. Unless you're trading, assuming he's going to resign. I think if he comes to Boston, you're going to think he resigns because of Tatum.
Yes.
But I do that trade.
I would.
Now, would I do anything in my power to not trade Jaylen Brown and still get Bradley Beal? Yes. Could you pull it off? Yes, considering he's going to be in a walk here. Like, you should be able to flip Romeo Langford, Grant Williams, Kemba Walker, Marcus Smart type package for Bradley Beal with 1 year left of his deal. Shouldn't you?
You should. Again, you should. Because, again, if I'm Bradley Beal, like, you're in the 10 slot right now if you're the Wizards. Like, do you really see them going up that much?
No. If you're Wick Grossbeck, if you're the owner of the Celtics, if Danny doesn't do much this offseason, you got to think about it. You got to think about pulling the plug on Danny Ainge. Like, I know he's a Celtics legend. I know he's done pretty good things here. He was able to get KG here. He traded Paul Pierce and KG for who is now Tatum and Brown, but he's lost his edge. He's lost his ability to make those deals that you need to do to win. And like, yes, I think Tatum and Brown can work together cohesively long-term. This is where I disagree with some people, Nick included, who think, well, if Tatum and Brown were going to work, it would have worked this year. No, because all they had was Tatum and Brown. It worked. Yes. Tatum and Brown worked. They were phenomenal this year. They had nothing else.
Right.
They had nothing else. Kemba couldn't play back-to-backs. Like, they're so much better when Kemba's in there. But, like, Kemba couldn't play back-to-backs. Marcus Smart was hurt and just is Marcus Smart. At some point, you have a limit there. You're playing Grant Williams. You're relying on Grant Williams, and you had to trade Daniel Tice, of all people, who was actually valuable. Like, they got worse when they traded Daniel Tice.
I know.
Like, look, there's pieces here. I think Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum are not the issue. I'd like to keep both long-term and still get Bradley Beal. That's the end goal. But I'd trade Jaylen Brown for Bradley Beal. You have Evan Fournier, who's playing lights out right now that he's done with the COVID thing. And I think he's going to probably re-sign here long-term. I'd expect him to. Mm-hmm. And you have other pieces that you can afford to get rid of. Grant Williams, Romeo Langford. Tremont Waters is a very valuable piece right now in the NBA. I don't want to, but Robert Williams is still a trade piece to me. Like, you could trade Robert Williams, Marcus Smart, maybe Romeo Langford for Bradley Beal. You do that in a heartbeat.
Or how about this? How about on the flip side? What about Minnesota? What if you called them? You go Kemba or Smart. Take your pick. You keep Jaylen Brown. Throw Robert Williams in that trade package. So you have Kemba or Smart along with Robert Williams and maybe a pick or two. See what you can get for Karl-Anthony Towns.
How old is Karl-Anthony Towns now?
Karl-Anthony Towns, I think.
What year did he come out? What year was that?
I'm pretty sure it's 2015.
Okay.
So he'd be about 25, 26, right around there.
He's not old. He's not old.
No. So here, let's find out right now. Karl-Anthony Towns. Karl-Anthony Towns is 25 years old.
Okay. You pair a 25-year-old Karl-Anthony Towns with a 19-year-old Jason Tatum. Okay. And no, just kidding. They're what, 22, 23 respectively around Tatum?
24 and 23, pretty sure.
24 and 23. Okay. So you have three players 25 and under who are your future studs. I'd do that. I'm okay with that trade. Now, Minnesota, for some reason, seems to not want to trade Karl-Anthony Towns for some reason. If you're Danny Ainge, you need to make a splash this offseason. This form of the Celtics that you have will not function. And I think the biggest thing that people are forgetting is this form of the Celtics is the aftermath of the Kyrie Irving thing not working still. Because what you had in Kyrie Irving, Gordon Hayward, Al Horford with a young Tatum and Brown, that was what he was shooting for. And that should have worked. That was your title contender. That was it. It was, think about that starting lineup right now. Kyrie Irving, Tatum, Brown, Al Horford, and who am I missing?
And
Gordon Hayward.
So
five.
So go through that again really quick. Slow. Go through that again.
Kyrie Irving.
Okay.
Kyrie Irving.
One of the best point guards in the NBA, respectively.
Top 5 player in the league.
No, I don't know about top 5.
Top 5
10,
player in the league.
Top 10. I'll give you top 10.
Either way.
Okay.
Jaylen Brown, number 2.
Jaylen Brown, flourishing, developing good shot from the outside.
All-star this year.
All-star
this year.
Yep.
Jason Tatum. We know
2-time All-star. Two-time All-Star.
Two-time All-Star, budding superstar, future top 10 player in this league.
Yep.
Gordon Hayward.
Very, very good. And a guy that was underrated here in Boston because of the injuries and everything. But he was an all-star in Utah before he came here, and he helped spread the floor.
Asterisk on that one. He is hurt again.
Yep, of course.
Of course he is. Al Horford.
Al Horford, veteran, guy that can play in the post and from the outside, veteran leader. That like you said, that should have worked. But that's
your title team. That's what Danny put together. So, like, I give Danny credit for putting that together. I also crap on Danny because he couldn't keep it together. Because that's on Danny. That's Danny's job.
Right.
But then if you have that, then you have Marcus Smart. You drafted Grant Williams. You have Robert Williams coming off the bench. You still bring in Tristan Thompson. You still have Tristan Thompson coming off the bench. That's a legit team. And then they clearly undervalued Terry Rozier, which is wrong. Terry Rozier is really freaking good. Yep. And imagine Terry Rozier on this team right now with his boys. That would have worked. So there's some cases here where they drafted some good guys, but like, why are you giving up Terry Rozier and for what? You're gonna let Romeo Langford play? Like, why couldn't you have kept Terry Rozier to play alongside Kemba? Like, you could have made this work. But my point is, you're in the aftermath of what should have worked, and now we're kind of in a mini rebuild because all you're left with is Brown and Tatum, which they weren't supposed to be ready yet. They're not supposed to be the guys yet. They're supposed to be playing with the Kyries and the Haywards and the Horfords, and then take over. So now what you're seeing is, and I don't want to compare them to Michael Jordan because they're not Michael Jordan, but like, you're seeing the early Bulls days before they won a lot. Second round exits, learning how to play in the NBA, really talented scorer, but just can't win. Mm-hmm. Tatum, right? That's what you're experiencing. So people in this town that want to just bail on Tatum and Brown, can we stop with that? Like, they're learning how to be stars in the league. They're not even 25 yet. They're going to be in this league winning championships when all these other guys in front of them are retired.
Right.
Like, that's where we're at right now as a Celtics team. You bring Bradley Beal, or Karl Anthony Towns into the mix. That's your piece. I hate the fact that we've been a piece away for 6 years, but like, at the same time, you need a GM who's going to pull the trigger on something. You have a lot of decent assets in this franchise right now. Like, picks, you have enough to get rid of, to add in tough deals. You have young players. Nesmith and Pritchard are solid pieces that I would trade those guys for Karl Anthony Towns or Bradley Beal. Don't you trade Nesmith, Pritchard, maybe Robert Williams, Kemba, and a pick for Bradley Beal?
Yes.
Like, you now have really good pieces. This is what I mocked at the beginning. Danny Ainge values those players more than he values superstars since day one. So if you're not going to trade those guys that you drafted, those pieces, to the teams they belong on for an actual star to compete, you're going to be looking up at Doc Rivers, Kyrie Irving, and Giannis for the next 5 years.
Yep.
And it's getting kind of ridiculous.
And you know it's not ridiculous?
What?
The Lawnmower 4.0.
Guys, the Lawnmower 4.0. It's Father's Day. It's just around the corner, guys. My first Father's Day.
Hey, let's give a round of applause real quick. Congratulations, Jared. First round of applause. Father's Day.
First Father's Day. I'm going.
Congratulations to you and the wife. I love that.
Father's Day is just around the corner, guys, and you probably need a gift for your hairy dad. I am a hairy dad now. Make your dad proud this year and get him yourself the MANSCAPED Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right. The Lawnmower 4.0, guys, it's out. 4.0. You're gonna get 20% off and free shipping with the code CouchGuy20 at manscaped.com. Guys, I promise you this, the Manscaped 4.0, it works. The Lawnmower 4.0, you can use it in the fun region. You can use it in the behind region. You can use it on your chest hair, which I have, and a lot of it. The beauty of it is you can just grab it and go in the shower. It's very waterproof, by the way. I tell this story all the time. The first time I ever brought it in the water, I was shocked that it actually worked. Not going to lie. But it's great. Wow. In the water, rinsing it off. It's clean, easy to clean. It's beautiful. So, Al, it's a wonderful job. You want any nicks? Like Nick likes to cut with scissors when he was a kid for some reason. I don't know. I don't think
disgusting.
Al, I don't think you ever did that, Al. I didn't do that.
I did not. Did not.
Someone didn't teach Nick how to do it. But either way, Manscaped, guys, of course, is the only men's dedicated brand to below the waist grooming and just launched their Lawnmower 4.0. It's great. We have it. It's phenomenal. Imagine surprising your dad with a sleek, well-designed, and optimized body hair trimmer that says your balls will thank you on the box. Yeah, give that to dad. Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. You may ask, how is this lawnmower 4.0 different from the other trimmers you guys talk about? Well, this upgraded trimmer includes a multi-function on-off switch that can engage a lock. This is a great feature if you're father yourself do a lot of traveling. It also gives the ability to turn the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave. You can now shave your balls in the dark. The Lawnmower 4.0 even allows you to customize your trim through additional guard lengths with sizes 1 through 4. You no longer can just have a fade for your hair, your top hair, Al. It's a beautiful thing. The new wireless charging system uses electromagnetic induction, which can help you battery length last longer. Yeah, you heard that right. It's wireless charging ball trimmers are a real thing, guys. Literally, I can stick it on a wireless charging pad that I have for my iPhone, and it'll charge. It's amazing. It's awesome. The new wireless charge is, like I said, it's that electromagnetic induction that works. The Weed Whacker, the nose and ear trimmer is also the best nose hair trimmer on the market and the perfect gift for your pops. They also have other amazing products like the Cologne Crop Ball Wipes, Reviver, ball toner, and crop preserver ball deodorant. We've talked about it at length on this show. It's all phenomenal. For all the females listening, you'll appreciate this part. Manscaped products are cruelty-free, paraben-free, I think that's how you say it, dyed-free, and of course, vegan. Get 20% off free shipping with the code CouchGuy20 at manscaped.com. Get your dad a gift you know they will use. Again, 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code CouchGuy20. Don't forget that you came from your dad's balls this year. Show your original home some love with Manscaped. Guys,
yes, sir.
Give your dad a box that says your balls will thank you on it for Father's Day. And maybe throw him a gift card to go play some golf. Just saying, golf's a great gift if you use the golf.
It is. It is.
I'm going golfing. I'm very excited about it. I already know. I already go golf. Guys, first Father's Day. It's gonna be weird. First Father's Day.
Yeah. How are you feeling real quick before we move into the next topic for your first Father's Day ever?
Oh, excited. It's Father's Day. We just celebrated Lars' first Mother's Day. We just did Mother's Day this past weekend, so that was fun. And now we're going into Father's Day. I'm excited. You know, I don't need much. I told Laura, I was like, I just want to go golfing. Let me go golfing. I'll be happy. So we're going golfing. Me and a friend, me and a couple other friends who've all had babies in the last year. We're going golfing. First Father's Day for all of us. So we're just gonna go golfing.
You know what? That is a great gift. The gift that keeps on giving. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate it. We have one friend who's currently sitting with his wife she's in labor right now.
Oh boy.
As we do this. Yep. Yeah. Should have a baby tonight. We'll find out. Who knows? It could break on this show. I could get a text saying, "Hey, you're a new uncle." Who knows?
Oh boy.
Anytime now. But you know what isn't any time now?
Is it that Bruins playoff run? Is it
hockey?
Is it where you and I become the playoff run fans and we're just here to support?
100%.
Yes,
guys.
Yes,
we are now watching Bruins hockey. This is This is the time of year where Al and I shine. That we watch Bruins hockey and try to complain that we know everything we've watched all year. This is our time to shine. This is when I watch hockey I make sure I'm there for puck drop. I watch intently. I crap on why is this guy on this line? Like this is my time of year where I literally nitpick coaching decisions and I don't even know hockey that well. This is what happens. So if Kaylee, if you're listening, I already talked about this on the show. I'm apologizing ahead of time, but this is the time of year where I come out to shine with my Tuukka hate. This is it. This is the Tuukka Rask hate season on repeat. But no, the Bruins officially locked in the 3 seed last night after Taylor Hall scored a sick overtime goal.
That thing was filthy.
Yeah. Taylor Hall's finally Taylor Hall. Poor Zach Gestiero. Taylor Hall is what we all expect Taylor Hall to be. He loves it here in Boston. He's going to probably sign a team-friendly extension because that's all he wants to do now is just be in Boston. He wanted to be a Bruin day one, in case no one knew this. He did an interview with Spit and Chicklets a while back and literally said, like, yeah, I kind of was wishing that Boston would take me at 2, but I didn't get there. And that's the year we all drafted Taylor Sagan, people, by the way. So, which kind of worked out for a little bit. But Taylor Hall wanted to be a Bruin. He now is a Bruin. He's not that old, and he wants to be here. So that's exciting.
It is.
This team out, round 1, locked it in. They're playing the Washington Capitals. I almost said the Wizards. The Washington Capitals. Round 1. Alf, I don't know if you knew this, but Zdeno Chara is no longer a Bruin, by the way. Zdeno Chara is now in the Washington Capitals.
Wait, I thought he was on the Detroit Red Wings.
Yeah, no, he's a Capital.
Oh.
And they are playing Zdeno Chara in the first round of the playoffs.
Color me shocked.
So, of course, this was going to happen. As soon as Zdeno Chara leaves, of course, you're going to play him in the first round. There's no way to avoid this, especially when the realignment where in the old system before COVID, because they did the regions this year based off of location to help with the spread of COVID, right? They didn't like all the Canadian teams have been playing together and like up there in Canada and all this stuff. We wouldn't have played Washington. There's a lot less of a chance of playing Washington in the first round because they're in the other part of the Atlantic Division. I don't even know. They're on the other half of the Eastern Conference. So basically, they are playing us because of their alignment. Like we play like the Maple Leafs in the first round because the Maple Leafs are always the ones we had to play. We haven't played Toronto all year. We didn't play Tampa all year. Like those guys just didn't play us, which is great. Don't mind me. Don't mind it. The Maple Leafs are good this year because they didn't have to play Boston. But I like the matchup against the Capitals. The Bruins are the best team in hockey, I think, or close to it since the trade deadline. Yep. They obviously they got Lazar, Mike Riley is the other guy's name, and Taylor Hall. Hall is something stupid. Like in 16 games, like 8 points, like 4 or 5 goals. I think it is something stupid. It's like a plus 15 on the ice. This team, I think, is no one should want to play the Bruins in this postseason. This is the year, and this is the type of team where you watch in the past and go, well, that's the team that can go win a cup despite not being a top team because that's what hockey is, right? In the play, like the Kings those years when they won the cup. Like this is a team now that because of the moves that now again, Don Sweeney, GM of the year in Boston, saw a hole in his team and actually made a move and improved his roster.
Take notes, Danny Ainge.
Traded for a superstar, and look what happened. They're instant cup contenders again. They're cup contenders. Al, you can't look at this team and think they're not cup contenders right now.
Agree fully. So, you know what's funny? I went on Twitter today, the old Twitter machine, and I basically tweeted out, tell me what I need to know. Because as you admitted, Jared, we're casual hockey fans, so we don't know what's going on. Tell me about the first round series in Washington. I got 4 or 5 replies that I think you'll like. Okay. The first one is from, let's see who we have here, at Brandon_Pare, somebody I went to college with.
What's up, Brandon? Oh, I need stories, Brandon. You need to tweet me or something. We need college stories. All right, keep going.
The key is going to be our play in the neutral zone, having to be quicker than them. Forecheck is always important. We have to prove we are the more physical team. So Brandon Pare is saying more physical, which I agree. The Bruins do need to be more physical.
Don't fight Zdeno Chara. Got it. Okay.
At Diego the DJ, I want to see Tom Wilson knock the F out. That's all. And I agree with that.
There's some legit motivation in this series. No one likes Tom Wilson. I know. I even know that. We know Tom Wilson.
Dirtbag.
Scumbag.
Absolute dirtbag. Friend of the program, Jake Ruthier. Not taking stupid effing penalties all game. Major key. Okay.
Jake, I'll make the point even stronger for you. No fucking penalties. Got it.
There you go. Good. Our good friend, Kaylee Allard. And I think this was the most in detail and honestly the best response. The Bruins are better on paper, but their power play is lacking, and the Capitals are bigger and more physical, like we just talked about earlier in an earlier response. If the Bruins can figure out how to dominate them in those aspects and throw more hits, I think they have a good chance of winning. Which Kaylee, I agree with.
I don't like how you strategically just kept goaltending out of that comment. But I agree. The power play needs to be strong. So in the years that in 2011, the funny thing is they didn't have a really good power play that year, and
they did not.
Phone call. They didn't have a strong power play, and they still won the cup. But Taylor Hall helps that.
Yes. Next. And then finally, the last one, our good friend at Matthew_Jordan, aka Matty B.
Matty B.
Hockey. That's it.
That's my response. Hockey.
Hockey.
We're talking hockey. We're talking puck.
That might have been just the best pure response ever. Like Kaylee's was the most in depth, but Maddie's was just the best. Period.
We're talking puck, Al.
We're talking sticky puck, Jared.
Get pucks in the cycle the puck. Pucks on net. That's it. That's what we got to do.
But realistically, and this is kind of a take that a lot of people have said, and I agree with it. I'm going Bruins in 6.
I agree. Yep. Bruins in 6 or I don't want to say 5. Bruins are not going to win if they go to game 7. Because that game is also in Washington. But I look at this series and go, if Tuukka Rask plays, and he's supposed to, right? He's supposed to play every day. He's been resting. He's fine. He's supposed to be fine. If Tuukka Rask plays, they're good enough to get by this. I don't think Tuukka's the guy. My big question is this: the Swayman guy or Halak as your backup goalie into the playoffs. This is when I don't know. I don't even know the answer.
It's gonna be Swayman,
but I think it should be Swayman. Like
it's gonna be Swayman.
I love Halak, but like Swayman's earned the right to at least sit behind Tuukka and be on the bench for the playoffs. He's not going to play a lot. Like I think Tuukka's going to play majority of the games, which he should. He is your best goalie. I don't think he's a title winner goalie. He hasn't proven that, but like he's your best goalie. So if this Bruins team wants to do anything, Tuukka Rask needs to be in net. But man, it's something about the Capitals freak me out. I'm excited though. The thing about hockey and postseason hockey is that like I can casually watch a hockey game throughout the year. I'm not itching to get in front of a TV to do it. Something about playoff hockey makes me want to sit down and watch a game of hockey.
It's so fun. It's fast paced. It's continuously going and going and going. And one thing about Swayman too, by the way, his regular season, Jared, in 9 games played, he was 7-2. You want to guess what his goals against was?
In the 7-2 record games?
Yes.
It's something like 3 or 4.
No. Just goals against average.
Oh, average, like per game?
Yeah, goals against average, yeah.
That's a per game average, right, stat?
Per game, yes.
1.5.
Yeah, right around there. 1.44 with the 946 save percentage.
Guys, I watch hockey.
Yeah.
I watch all the Bruins games.
Yeah, you do. Pretty good. Pretty good for a backup.
This guy could be your guy, like moving forward. Like Tuukka's up after this year, next year, one of those two. Got to start thinking about moving off from Tuukka. Now, if they make a run and Taylor Hall comes back, like this team, the way it's put together right now, you bring Tuukka back is a legit contender again next year, right? Bergeron and Marchand clearly aren't slowing down anytime soon. Krejci still looks good, right? Like these core pieces we keep thinking, oh, they're getting old. They're legit. Marchand leads the Bruins in all the point categories. Like it's insane. The top 2 lines of the Bruins right now, the perfection line that we like to call it, Bergeron, Marchand, Pasternak, and then you have Krejci with Taylor Hall and who's that a line? Oh, Craig Smith. Is that who's playing with them?
Yeah,
that sounds
right.
That top 6 is lethal. That second line has been good since Taylor Hall got put in there. Someone finally is able to play with David Krejci.
Yes, full-heartedly agree.
Great. All right, we're going to leave it there. We talk Bruins. Couch Guy Sports Podcast, episode 207 in the books. Lock it down. iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, all the Twitch channel, YouTube content. I think we're live on Twitch as we record this, actually. So
we are.
You're not listening live, but anyway, just go subscribe to the Twitch channel. Go through also subscribe, a follow on the YouTube channel as well. Hit the little bell, get notified, watch all of our fun videos. We're going to do more there as well. But and keep an eye out on the info about the Twitch. Me and Al are doing something on the Twitch channel soon. You guys will like it, especially baseball fans. You guys will like it.
Yep.
Al will be back next week. Maybe not have a guest. We'll see. Who knows? We're just gonna reach out to people and figure it out. But
yeah,
if not, worst case, it'll be me and Al's mug again, and we'll talk. We'll definitely talk Patriots schedule. That comes out tomorrow.
That'll be fun.
So we'll talk some of the Patriots schedule stuff. Probably, maybe the Celtics not even making the play-in game. A lot to get to. Until that, Al, have a great week, bud, and we'll talk to you soon.
You too. Take care, everybody.
Oh wait, shit.